What does it take to transform a small Middle Eastern country into a modern society and global powerhouse? Billions in oil money help, but the secret weapon is a progressive royal, the richest queen in the world. Sheikha Moza bint Nasser of Qatar has used her immense wealth and influence to revolutionize education, healthcare and women's rights in the ultra-conservative Gulf state. She's led Qatar's meteoric rise from a poor backwater to hosting the 2022 World Cup and beyond. With over $15 billion to her name, Sheikha Moza lives an insanely opulent lifestyle. But she's no pampered royal. She's a dynamic leader and shrewd businesswoman who's left no diamond unpaid for. How did the daughter of a dissident become the most powerful queen in the world? What's her fabulous life really like? And how has she transformed Qatar using her billions? Qatar is becoming more famous worldwide. This is because Qatar hosted the 2022 World Cup. Many people thought Qatar would fail badly at hosting the World Cup, but Qatar did not fail. Qatar is a small country on the Arabian Peninsula. It is next to Saudi Arabia. Qatar is ruled by a royal family, the Al Thani. Sheikha Moza bint Nasser is part of the royal family. She is the richest queen in Qatar. She is also one of the most powerful women in Qatar. Sheikha Moza has helped change Qatar over the last 40 years. She uses her power and money to improve education, healthcare, and culture in Qatar. With her projects, she has made Qatar more modern. She is a great example of how rich people can use their money and power to help others. Sheikha Moza is worth over $15 billion. Sheikha Moza is incredibly wealthy. She is worth over $15 billion by herself. This makes her the richest queen in the world. The Qatar Royal Family together is worth around $350 billion. As the mother of Qatar's ruler, Sheikha Moza has immense influence over how the royal family spends its money. With her wealth, Sheikha Moza lives an extremely luxurious life, but she also uses her money for good causes like improving education and women's rights. Sheikha Moza had a tough childhood. Sheikha Moza did not always have such a luxurious life. She had a very difficult childhood. She was born in 1959. Her father was a famous political activist named Nasser bin Abdullah al-Misnad. In 1960, when Moza was just 1 year old, her father spoke out against Qatar's ruler at the time. As punishment, her father was sent to prison. So Sheikha Moza grew up without her father for the first 4 years of her life. Her family lived in constant fear of further punishment from the royal family. When Sheikha Moza was 5, her father was released from prison. He immediately took the family into exile in Kuwait. Sheikha Moza spent her childhood in Kuwait, but when she turned 18, she returned to Qatar. Back in Qatar, Sheikha Moza fell in love with the Crown Prince of Qatar. They got married that same year, in 1977. Her husband later became the Emir, or ruler, of Qatar. As his wife, Sheikha Moza became queen consort. Sheikha Moza is highly educated. Sheikha Moza is highly educated. She has degrees from universities in Qatar, as well as honorary doctorates from universities in the United States and Britain. She began her education in Kuwait. She attended primary and secondary school there. When she returned to Qatar, she studied sociology at Qatar University. She got her bachelor's degree from there. Later, she earned her master's degree in public policy from Qatar University. Her education focused on areas like sociology, policymaking, and social development. This provided her with the knowledge to take on big projects to help the people of Qatar. As queen, Sheikha Moza continued learning. She took part in conferences and seminars around the world. This allowed her to connect with experts in education, healthcare, and other areas. It gave her new ideas that she could apply in Qatar. Important positions held by Sheikha Moza. As the wife of Qatar's Emir, Sheikha Moza held the title Her Highness. She was part of the royal family, but she earned many more impressive titles through her own work over the years. In 2003, she was made a special envoy for education by the United Nations group UNESCO. In this role, she promoted education reform and equal access to schooling globally. In 2008, she won the Excellence in Education Award from UNESCO for her work in the Arab world. Sheikha Moza has also been part of groups focused on the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. She advocates for quality education and women's empowerment. For her efforts, she has received awards like a Legion of Honor from France. She's also won the Global Leadership Award from the UN for her work in education, health, and development. Sheikha Moza's philanthropy and activism. As Queen, Sheikha Moza works hard for causes she cares about. She advocates for education, healthcare, women's rights, and more. In education, Sheikha Moza founded Education City in Qatar. This brought many top Western universities to Qatar. She also started organizations like Reach Out to Asia to improve schooling abroad. In healthcare, she started projects to give better health services to women and children. She works with the UN to reduce poverty and help marginalized communities in Qatar and worldwide. She promotes gender equality and women's empowerment. She gives women more opportunities in Qatar society. Sheikha Moza understands that money and power should be used to help others. Her charitable work makes Qatar more modern and compassionate. The lavish lifestyle of Sheikha Moza. Sheikha Moza uses her fortune generously to help people, but she also enjoys a fabulously lavish lifestyle herself. As the richest queen, she can afford to live in absolute luxury. She has over $15 billion to her name. Plus, she has immense influence over the Qatar Royal Family's $350 billion fortune. The family makes big purchases on her request. It's believed Sheikha Moza pushed for the acquisition of luxury brands like Valentino and Harrods. One of Sheikha Moza's prized possessions is the Pink Star Diamond. She bought it in 2017 for a staggering $71 million. Sheikha Moza resides in the Royal Palace in Qatar's capital Doha. The gorgeous palace features Islamic architecture blended with modern design. The expansive palace is decorated with gold and contains over a dozen buildings. Hundreds of luxury vehicles fill the palace garages, awaiting Sheikha Moza's desire to go for a drive. She also owns lavish homes around the world, including mansions in London worth over $100 million each. Wherever she goes, Sheikha Moza dresses in fashionable clothes and expensive jewelry. She wears traditional Qatari garments mixed with high fashion gowns and jewelry worth millions. Her luxurious lifestyle reflects her royal status as the wealthiest queen in the world. Sheikha Moza, powerful leader and fashion icon. Sheikha Moza bint Nasser is a woman of many talents. She is a skilled leader, philanthropist, and fashion icon. As the richest queen, she has brought meaningful change to Qatar's society. She modernized Qatar's education, healthcare, and culture using her immense wealth and influence. She generously supports causes like education access, women's empowerment, and poverty reduction. At the same time, she enjoys a life of incredible luxury as one of the richest women in the world. She owns lavish palaces and dresses in the finest designer clothes and dazzling jewels. With brains, compassion, and style, Sheikha Moza proves that wealth and power can transform lives when used by the right leader. Thank you for watching this video on the richest queen in Qatar. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to see more luxury lifestyle videos.